Noah reminded himself, I need to shoot as quickly as possible. He carefully judged the enemy's approximate position. He waited, knowing he only had one chance. The footsteps grew closer and closer. Noah didn't understand how the enemy hadn't discovered his hiding spot. Even after carefully searching every area around him, he crouched to make his body as small as possible to stay out of sight. The fact that the enemy was still searching and not attacking meant Noah hadn't been exposed yet. He calmed down and leaned on the large tree he was hiding behind. The rustling footsteps approached, and Noah estimated the enemy was only about 10 yards away. With no time to aim, Noah hastily fired a shot towards the enemy's likely position before quickly retreating. He drew his blade, ready for close combat. However, no one attacked. Instead, a wheezing sound came from nearby. Noah was surprised and cautiously placed his cap on the muzzle of his gun, extending it outward. There was no expected bullet attack, so he peered out to take a look. A man lay in a pool of blood, his throat gushing blood, more than half of it blown apart. Noah hadn't expected to be so lucky. Accidentally taking out his opponent with just one shot, the man's eyes were wide, uncomprehending. Noah unhesitatingly stabbed the blade into his heart just to be safe. The man's eyes went still in an instant. Noah breathed a sigh of relief and searched the body, finding 3 magazines and 2 grenades. Seeing that the man's weapon was the same as his own with matching bullets, Noah grinned. He took all the weapons and crept away from the scene. After a few steps, he stopped, remembering the booby traps Victoria had mentioned. He went back, removed the camouflage from the man's body, and put it on himself. He took out a grenade and placed it under the body to set up a booby trap for anyone who came close. After looking around to make sure he hadn't been discovered, Noah quickly headed towards the sound of gunfire. As Noah took cover behind another tree, a sense of exhilaration swept over him. The accidental kill had given him a newfound confidence, and chancing upon the enemy's ammunition was an added bonus. 10 minutes later, he noticed gunfire coming from a thicket on a nearby hill. He quickly hit the ground and carefully surveyed the situation. Soon, he spotted another shooter firing from a different location, but both were targeting the same area. With Victoria being the only one out there, he knew she couldn't be the attacker. From their positions, Noah was certain Victoria was pinned down in the line of fire, over 2,000 yards away. The closest enemy was at least a mile away from him. Scanning his surroundings, he quickly identified a vantage point that would give him a clear view of the nearest enemy. Crouching low, he swiftly made his way over. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out from the very spot he was heading towards. Startled, Noah immediately dropped to the ground and took a closer look. He caught a glimpse of a figure rapidly retreating from the high ground before vanishing from sight. Noah muttered under his breath, "Damn, that was fast." He remained motionless, unsure if his enemy disguise would hold up under scrutiny. After a cautious look around revealed no signs of trouble, he reasoned that rushing in now might not be much help. Instead, he decided to check out the enemy's campsite, hoping to gather some valuable intel and maybe some more ammunition. Initially driven by revenge, Noah's priorities had now shifted after he learned that Victoria's target was a traitor. Faced with a choice between personal vendetta and national betrayal, he put his country first. With renewed purpose, he changed course and headed straight for the enemy campsite. About 10 minutes later, sensing someone ahead, he promptly took cover and peered through his rifle scope. Noah didn't see any activity in there, but he noticed a large tree nearby. Slinging his rifle over his shoulder, he darted over and swiftly climbed up to the canopy. The dense foliage had severely limited his field of vision, but from the treetop, he had a much clearer view. Scanning through his scope, Noah quickly spotted a group of people hidden among the trees ahead. Dressed in civilian clothes, they looked more like bandits instead of well-equipped soldiers he had killed earlier. Intrigued, he searched the crowd and soon noticed a middle-aged man who looked like a professor. The man was anxiously surveying the area and communicating with those around him. Noah's eyes narrowed. Could that be Victoria's target? And he was right. This was the same middle-aged man that Victoria had described. The enemies had cornered Victoria, and they probably thought that no one else would be on their tail. In their eyes, Noah was just a rookie, and only one person was enough to deal with them. They might even be under the impression that Noah was killed, but they didn't know that their man had been shot now, and that Noah was looking straight at them. In other words, Noah had become the unexpected variable. Wouldn't it be a shame not to take advantage of this opportunity? With this in mind, Noah slipped down the big tree. Following the methods Victoria had taught him, he constantly hid himself in blind spots, using the trees as a cover to quickly move forward. When he got much closer, he worried that the sound of his footsteps would attract the enemy's attention, so he slowed his pace and carefully advanced, making as little sound as possible. The dense forest had too many dead branches and leaves on the ground, which could easily make noise. Noah didn't dare to continue forward. Instead, he took a detour to the side. After reaching the opposite side of the target, he quickly climbed up a large tree and hid among the branches. He slowly extended his gun and aimed at the target. Noah judged the distance to be about 600 yards or so. Noah wasn't confident he could make this shot, but he had to for Victoria. Shooting down the traitor was Victoria's mission, and if Victoria wasn't able to complete it right now, Noah was going to do it on her behalf. After some thought, he adjusted the gun to 3-round burst mode. Noah adjusted his breathing, trying to relax as much as possible. His index finger slowly squeezed the trigger. A gentle breeze softly swayed the leaves. Sunlight spilled through the gaps between the leaves, falling on the ground in small blurry dots. The rays were interfering with Noah's visual judgment. Even after 3 full minutes of adjusting and observing, Noah couldn't get a straight aim. He took a deep breath, forcing himself to calm down and clear his mind, and then took aim again. Noah warned himself. You can't delay any longer. Everything hinged on this one moment. Since he couldn't effectively shoot to kill with his marksmanship skills, he would just have to treat the gun like a dagger. With this thought, Noah's heart calmed down. After aiming at the target and considering the wind direction and speed, he slightly offset the muzzle, whether it worked or not. Noah pulled the trigger, and 3 bullets roared out as the gun recoiled in his hands. Noah ignored the damage the recoil force caused to his shoulder and quickly searched through the scope. He discovered that he had actually hit the target. 1 bullet in the right shoulder, 1 in the thigh, with those 2 wounds gushing blood like fountains. Noah knew this traitor would not survive without medical treatment. Noah allowed himself a small smile and began to climb down the tree. Suddenly, countless bullets sprayed over. Noah had been exposed. He quickly slid down the big tree and fled for his life. Victoria's mission was complete. The traitor was as good as dead. But now Noah was running for his life with a dozen guns trained on him. And somewhere out there, Victoria was fighting her own battle, unaware of what he'd just accomplished.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.